The number one ghat in the series of ghat complexes from 1 to 84 is officially the Ravidas Ghat, where the cruises are embarked and they depart from here. So this is ghat number 1, and today's target is to reach the Namo Ghat in a brisk walk. Now, if I'm starting from ghat number 1 officially, that itself adds around 5 minutes extra walk to reach Namo Ghat. But yes, a ghat walk is a ghat walk. It has to start from 1 and end at 84. The difference today is that firstly, I won't be stopping at any place for any kind of photography or going left and right, because that's what I've been doing here for the past few months, and I realized that there is no end to it. So today it is only going to be a straight ghat walk, no distractions, no detours, no deviations, and no stoppages. Now, in order for the battery to run for that much amount of time, I have decided to go for the lowest possible settings in 4K. So in the GoPro, we have got a lot of flexibility with the settings, and firstly it is the frame rate. So though personally I do not like the 24 frames per second, it is considered to be cinematic, as close to the cinema effect as possible. I go for a 50 frames per second, which is butter smooth. I like the final capture. But today, for this video, it is going to be 24 frames per second. Now, when I say the difference between 24 and 50, it is the number of pictures which are being captured by the GoPro. So that means if lesser number of pictures are captured per second, so definitely it will impact the battery life. 4K resolution standard, nothing below it. There is one resolution below it, but I think 4K is good enough. It's a good compromise between the very detailed 5.3 and the lower ones, which is 1080p. Then the other settings which I have tinkered with is the sharpness. Now, sharpness sometimes appears to be unnatural, but I like the way the video is captured in sharpness. But this time I have set it at low. The color profile, instead of vibrant, a GoPro captures some really vibrant pictures. So that video settings are now to a natural profile. So natural profile is what GoPro says that it is as close to what you can see in a human eye. And then there is of course a flat profile for the color graders. So I have chosen natural. Obviously there will be more, the processor has to do more work to get a good color profile, which is why I have decided to save the battery there also. Then between the 10-bit recording is actually required for color graders, again very good quality. And then finally there is the bit rate. I have set it to the lowest bit rate what GoPro can offer. So basically these are the settings. Now there is something interesting going on over here. So this is the flat portion, sandy bank portion between Assi Ghat and Ravidas Ghat, which is behind. So there is some kind of activity going on. There is some PA equipment and musical equipment. So they must be getting ready for some kind of light and sound show or something on a semi-permanent basis, because the sandbank is going to be visible only for the next 6 months. Now we are going to reach Assi Ghat. So again, I was talking about the GoPro settings. Now as far as GoPro is concerned, all these settings basically help you to reduce the file size and save the battery life. So much so that yesterday I was doing some experimentation and I realized that between 4K of all the highest settings and 5.3K again of the highest settings, the file size is almost same. There is a very minor variation. Whereas if I keep all the settings at low, that is the bit rate especially, and if I don't record in 10 bit, then all of a sudden the file size reduces to half. So that means the most straightforward thing, or the most straightforward explanation for all that is that if you want to keep your file size low, you can choose for the lower bit rates and do not record in 10 bit. Excuse me. So there are some steps cut over here, and there is something more further going on in this area. So yeah, now this riverbed will be like this for the next 10 months, or rather I would say at the most 8 months, because we don't know how much rains and floods will be caused next year. So when the water recedes, and the water has receded quite a lot, when the water recedes, it had reached these steps. So when the water recedes, the riverbed is exposed, and every morning and evening, this is the scene and the riverbed. Firstly, the boats, they are anchored quite away from the stairs. Then this space becomes available for the devotees and the priests to carry out their religious rituals. There aren't too many over here, but yes, there is a sizable number of these pandas who sit under the umbrellas. And these are the two Aarti places. So one is over here. This one is the main one, and at times I feel it is even better than the Dashashimeva Ghat Aarti. And this is the second one. Over here especially, this complete Aarti Sthal has moved to the second level of the stairs. And that's the reason why this water receding means that now the complete staircase will be available for people to stand. Okay, there is some kind of photo shoot going on. There's there are a couple of ladies behind wearing the same sari pattern as what this person has worn. It might not necessarily be photo shoot, because pilgrims who come over here after they take Ganga Snan, they wear their best dress, which is part of Shringar. This boat yesterday was getting painted, the bottom black. I think that work is finished. There's another Pandit ji. The Ghat Walk per se begins from here. There is a notice over there, and from there there is Ganga Mahal Ghat, then the Riva Kothi and Tulsi Ghat. As I said, if we start from Ravidas Ghat, you have to add some extra time to your Ghat Walk. So that is around 10 minutes extra. So far I like what I'm seeing in the small preview window, despite it's being set at the 24 frames per second. But it is only on the big screen that there is a problem. This is the Ganga Snan. There are floaters kept over here and the changing rooms. This is the end of the Asi Ghat complex. So this is the end point till where the pilgrims are allowed. That's the water intake. That's the water intake. And these three towers form the part of the Banaras water supply. So I think the complete city gets its water supply from this point. Pilgrims are not allowed over here. No kind of bathing activities permitted here, though there isn't many security guards, but traditionally people follow it. That's the water department infrastructure. It is that time of the year when there will be an influx of tourists, and at the same time there will be a lot of activity going on the ghats. That's Bhatoni Ghat, and followed by Janki Ghat. This is the bathing point for Janki Ghat. So between Asi Ghat and the next Ghat complex, there are these small ghats, there are the residences. Anandmayi is a saint from Bangladesh, and she came and settled over here, and she has an ashram over here a long time back. The next ghat is the Jain Ghat, which is named after the Jain temple which is here on the top, and there is a dharmshala also for people to stay. I have seen them there. And between these two ghats is the between this ghat and the next ghat complex which is coming up, there is a small stretch which is named after the Nishad community. These are the boat people who have been navigating through the rivers for the last hundreds and hundreds of years. In fact, there was a time when there were very, very few boat crossing places, the river crossing places, and these all places were manned by the Nishad community. And where there were these population places, they also had the local leaders or the local chieftains. So Nishad Raj, after which this ghat is named, would have been named after the king of the boat people or their leader who would have been staying here. Now this is a huge stairs complex, Panchakot Ghat, and over here beneath these steps, because there is nothing, because there is no sort of commercial activity here, so people come here to sit on these stairs. They sit and relax over here. Late nights also I have seen people come here sitting, and especially from this point of view you will find that there is a huge the coverage of the view is huge. So if you're sitting here, you can see the river from here till that portion. So that's a spectacular view. Okay, the early morning cleaning of the Ganga river is on. Just yesterday I asked somebody that why they were throwing a plastic bag full of some material inside the river, and they replied that these are puja material and we have to throw it in the river. So that's how where the people are supposed to improve their thinking and upgrade, that they have to make some kind of alternate arrangements and not to pollute these rivers. So now the next Ghat complex which is coming in front of us is the Shivala Ghat complex. Now I always have covered in all my videos that any Ghat complex which is concave in shape is likely to be the old Ghats. So this over here is a perfect example of the concavity of the Ghats. And Chet Singh Fort or Chet Singh Palace is the backdrop for a lot of activities and events, like something is going on over here. This could be a photo shoot or a movie shoot or whatever. So that's the backdrop of the fort. The fort itself is in disuse. So here is the shape of the Ghat. That's what I was saying, that it is a concave shape. And the main Ghat or the main temple of the Ghat was that Shivala Ghat over there, where it is, the nameplate is put. Otherwise, next to the Ghats, there were a couple of akhadas. So there are these two akhadas, Niranjani and Panchakoti Akhada, and behind that is the Chet Singh Fort. So this fort would have been built on the location of the akhadas and the ancient Ghats. So there is a lot of activity going on over here, because behind this Ghat is a lane where there are a lot of South Indian hotels and guest houses. So a lot of pilgrims come here, not at this Ghat proper, but they come over there at the end of the Ghat over there. So there is one palace over here which has been converted into a museum, into a hotel. So that's a good view. And then there is this Everest Cafe. It is a cafe up the flight of stairs. So if the staircase don't have any problem with you, so you can come and sit there for a good morning breakfast and a good view of the river. So as I said, this is a very, very active Ghat, and also this is a very old Ghat. So that's the Everest Cafe at Guleria Ghat. And this is the main bathing point where I mentioned that a lot of people come here. So there you can see. So now, okay, this is interesting. I found this lady at this exact spot yesterday morning offering prayers. I might have even clicked a picture also. So these are the morning boat cruises showing the Ghats. That's a kind of personalized tour going on. So at the end of this Ghat complex, which we have left behind, there is the Harishchandra Ghat. Now this is a cremation ground. Officially there are two cremation grounds on the Kashi river front. One is at Harishchandra Ghat and the other is at the famous Manikarnika. Now both these cremation grounds required some kind of infrastructure development. So some time back, like a couple of weeks back, these white boards have come up over here. Sorry, these blue sheets have come up over here, and there is this board that indicates that there is some construction work and renovation work about to start. Okay, this Shivling And this space of the Ghat, this is the eternal flame. And over here, people in black robes perform tantric puja. That's right under the cremation ground. So both the places, Manikarnika as well as Harishchandra, this sort of thing is visible. So this is the cremation ground, and that space is below the cremation ground where tantric puja is done. So tantric priests become active at night. There is not too much sounds or voices or music coming out of the temple. There are just people sitting there and praying. That's all, and meditating. So that's the Harishchandra cremating ground. And as I said, the much needed renovations, what were required very soon, there will be a spectacular, because this government is renowned to do these things spectacularly. So these are the sanitary workers. They work, they have, depending on the place, they have shifts of like 2-3 times a day sometimes, and sometimes in the night also. After this Ghat complex, the immediately next one is the Gauri Kedareshwar. Now Gauri Kedareshwar temple is a very ancient temple where Aurangzeb tried to destroy the Shivling. The destruction marks are still visible. However, the Shivling survives, and this is a very, very active Ghat. I mean, I have seen, I've come here different times of the day, and what I have noticed is that many pilgrims come over here. Many pilgrims, and most of them are from the South Indian part. So yes, as you can see, it's already very crowded. There's a collection of shivlings over here. There are priests sitting over here. So that's the Gauri Kedareshwar temple painted in yellow, and the steps are an alternative of blue and alternative of white and red. This is the Gauri Kedareshwar Kund. So definitely next to the Samshan Ghat, Gauri Kedareshwar Ghat or the Kedar Ghat would have been part of the ancient Ghat complex. From this portion to the next Ghat complex, that's the Darbhanga Ghat, there is a gap, and this gap is filled up with all these residential places. There are hotels, there are homestays, and there is this backpackers park. I've been wanting to see this place when I get an opportunity. It's like a hostel. There isn't single rooms, but there are sharing rooms of 4 each. There's also private rooms available, but that's a very, very interesting concept. So if you're a traveler on a budget, and if you're the person who would like to meet new people and make new acquaintances, this is the way you should stay. Now, another interesting part about this place is that behind the Gauri Kedareshwar Ghat is the Gauri Kedareshwar lane, which runs parallel to the Ghats. Now, if you are stuck up because of the Ghat Walk not being available because of the Ganga river waters, you can take that lane. There isn't too much on the Gauri Kedareshwar lane. Yes, there are a few restaurants, there are mostly hotels, but the Gauri Kedareshwar lane, as it moves towards Dashasameva Ghat, it converts into Bengali Tola lane. Okay, and that is incredible. This is the sewage department, sewage pumping station. That's the graphics which are painted every year over there. So that's a university. Now see here, what a beautiful spectacle. Now this is something which you will see at Kashi. That's another ghat. And then there is a small stretch of little ghats right up till Darbhanga Ghat, where suddenly the scenario changes. Now, I was talking about the Bengali Tola lane. So the Bengali Tola lane is exactly behind the series of these buildings. It is running parallel to the ghats. It has got beautiful shops and restaurants selling all kind of souvenirs, cloths, clothing, then bags. So wooden toys. If you are interested in shopping, Bengali Tola lane is the place. Of course, the Sashimeva Ghat road is always there, the shopper's paradise. But you should consider this option. Now, one of the ancient ghats in this complex, in this area, is the Narad Ghat. Now, Narad Ghat, the label has been placed over here, but there's a temple. That temple is over here, the red one. And there is an entrance from there. See, that's the Ghat Walk label. And this is why this ghat is significant. So there's a Dattatreya temple over there. And there is a lot of puja activity going on, especially Pindadan. See, that's the Dattatreya Mutt. And it is part of Raja Ghat, which was built by the Peshwas. So that's the significance of this place. It's an odd ghat in between. And otherwise, there is just the series of ghats. And over here, there was a wrestling ground, after which this ghat has been named. The chief wrestler or the Guruji who was there, Bablu Pandey. So all along this ghat, parallel to the ghat behind these buildings, is the Bengali Tola lane. And I'll give you a link to my previous videos. And it is really nice. So depending on what your option is, you can choose to decide between the two options. One is the spiritual Ghat Walk, which is from here till the Sashimeva Ghat, and the other is the spiritual shopping walk, which is behind over here. Now we are coming to one of the main ghat complexes, that is the Sashimeva Ghat. It is right there in front of us. So that is coming right in front of us. Now there is this beautiful cafe. It was not active during the rainy season. So that's quite a nice place to sit and again have a good view of the river. It's not a rooftop, but it's nevertheless good. So this is the steps which goes towards that Bengali Tola lane, and you can start exploring from here. Considering this complete area was submerged under the mud, there is a huge effort put by the government to keep the Ghat Walk clean every day. That's the next ghat. It's built in the shape of a mansion or a fort, more of a mansion and a palace. So there is another series of steps over here. This lane will take you to the Bengali Tola lane again. And there is this Sita Hotel, which has a direct access to the river view. And there's a restaurant on top, which is both open air as well as a closed one. That, in my opinion, provides you with the best view of this place. So there are these couple of ghats over here which have been converted into a residential area come homestay. And then we are approaching to one of the most picture perfect ghat. It's Insta friendly, and there is some kind of activity always going on over here. Of course, they don't allow commercial shoots, which is why you won't find the filmmakers over here. But otherwise, apart from that, there is everything and everybody over here. So there's a hotel on top. It's a luxury hotel. That balcony over there gives you a good view of the surrounding area. This is the bathing point. It is open to public. And that gentleman sitting over there in a chair is one of the viewpoints. But there is a second viewpoint on top, the pinkish structure which you see. That is also accessible for general public. That's the entrance to the hotel. You can see artists sitting over here and doing some sketching activity. So that's the staircase going to those two viewpoints which are there on top. So all of a sudden we are entering into the Dasashimeva Ghat complex. It starts with Munshi Ghat. Munshi in Hindi means a minister, but this particular guy would have been a very powerful minister to be able to construct such magnificent ghats. And then all these series of ghats begin. This is the Ahilya Bai Ghat. And this is a very, very busy ghat. Very busy ghat. Especially during the winters. That's the Dasashimeva temple, Mahadev temple, which is again very busy with devotees. That's the Ahilya Bai Ghat. We are the Pandits sitting over here. And now this is the Dasashimeva Ghat. So if I've started my ghat walk at around 8:30, so somewhere around 9:05, 9:10 I have reached here. So it is going to take half an hour for the ghat walk till this place. Google Maps shows otherwise, but this is what is the actuals at a regular pace. But there's a good temple over here and a viewpoint also. People put chairs over here so that people can sit and do their view their Ganga Aarti from here. And if there is a Ganga Aarti spot behind, that's the one. This is the main Dasashimeva Ganga Aarti. Now the problem is that this place gets very crowded. There is a lot of pilgrims coming over here. And if the Ganga Aarti is going to start at 7, people come and sit here on these stairs from sometimes 2 o'clock onwards. There are 2 places over here for people to sit. And this being the main ghats, there is a huge rush of pilgrims. They are always here. I have seen them here since early morning 5 o'clock. That's the Shringar going on. Shringar is a very, very Hindi word, Sanskrit word, where a woman gets ready. Here's a couple of Panditji sitting. Now you can see the rush of pilgrims over here. So if you're looking for a ghat walk, this is the only place that you're going to encounter where there will be a rush. No need to avoid this place because the walking pathway is always available. Okay, that's a road. That's a road block. I think I can take these steps over here. Yeah, this is the best. So that's another lady doing her Shringar. That's Man Mandir Ghat, Man Mahal Ghat.
Depend.
So right from Munshi Ghat onwards, there is a huge rush. You can see over here. Now this kind of rush continues till the Mihir Ghat complex. That's Dolphin Restaurant over here. These graphics are getting ready. Maybe by tomorrow somebody will finish it. So there you go, a huge rush of pilgrims. Actually, I'm a little bit late because 9 o'clock, if I'm reaching this spot, it's not a good time. The best time in this season for Ghat Walk is early morning, where there isn't too much of a crowd. But if you're a people's person, then late morning and early evening, that's the best time. So this is the Mihir Ghat complex. Those are the steps coming to Mihir Ghat. That's the viewpoint over there, and that's Alka Hotel, which has got the most fabulous viewpoint. That's the lawn of the hotel on the 3rd floor. And then there are more floors on top with a balcony. There you can understand the crowds. So if you start from Munshi Ghat complex or Ahilya Bhai Ghat, and then if you come till the Kashi Vishwanath corridor, which is there in the front, this entire stretch is busy with pilgrims. So this is morning time, Ganga Snan, and then followed by, a boat ride, and then a sumptuous breakfast, which is what we are going to do next, but only after we reach Namo Ghat. Oh, that's an interesting caption. Friends date. Monday is sad when it arrives, and the momos make you happy. That's Malayo, and in fact, if my estimate is right, this is the only place where you get Malayo on the ghats. So otherwise you have to walk inside the streets where it is available in plenty. So this is Lalita Ghat, and these are the vendors. This is the boundary line. This is the stopping point. From here onwards, no vendors are allowed, and there is a heavy police presence. That is because we are coming up to the Ganga Dwar of the Kashi Vishwanath corridor. So this ghat is kept very clean, and the security presence ensures that no kind of commercial activities are permitted over here. That's Ganga Dwar over there, and that's Lalita Ghat, which houses the Pashupatinath temple, which is also called as the Nepali temple. Now this ghat complex is part of the Manikarnika Ghat. So obviously this place is now going to be the next crowded place. The crowds aren't allowed over here, but the point is that this is the Ganga Dwar, and the pilgrims come down over here by a boat, and then they go up for the Kashi Vishwanath darshan. Now, after the water has receded, first the water was up till the stairs. If you see these brown marks on the stairs, and this place was also submerged. So if you want to cross Manikarnika Ghat, there are 2 points, part of the Ghat Walk. One is from the top and one is from the bottom. So now, since the water levels have receded, this is the portion where you can cross over in your Ghat Walk. Now try to understand, the pathway from top as well as down is not clean. There is a, if you see these blue sheets, they are the ones who they have cordoned off this area, portions of it, and the construction work will begin soon. It's a big challenge over here. So that's how it will look like. Once this place comes up, then the Ghat Walk will be good. But for the time being, either from the top or from the down, you have to cross this place from this point. Now, why I'm taking this path is, this is not the recommended path, by the way. Why I'm taking this path is because here, this is the cremation ground, and again at this place, below the cremation ground is the place where the those who perform Tantra Puja, they are, this is their adobe. So these are the gentlemen in white clothes, in black clothes, and that's the place. And it is active at night. So at night, there will be a fire burning over there, and people will be sitting and meditating. There is no sound and music per se of any kind whatsoever. That's one of the ancient temple. If you see the photographs, old photographs, you will find this temple is prominently visible. And along with this temple, there are 2 other temples which are visible, the one in the front and the one on the right. So these are the 3 temples which form the part of a complex. So even though Manikarnika Ghat is actually a cremation ground, the Ghat per se has a lot of pilgrims presence. So there you go. These are the ghats. And that's the famous Ratneshwar Mahadev Mandir, which is the tilted temple. That's the Manikarnika Kund. It's getting cleaned up. It was totally filled with mud and water from the river. And this is the proper Manikarnika Ghat space. So there you go, the famous tilted temple. And this temple is one of the most photographed temples in Kashi. It has become a sensation on Instagram. That's a Datta Paduka Mandir. And that's another tilted temple structure. So that's the Sindhya Ghat. Sindhya Ghat appears to be a part of the Manikarnika Ghat complex. And again here you will find a huge rush of pilgrims. I have seen a rush in the morning time, in the evening time, even late night. So from Ravidas Ghat to Manikarnika Ghat, it will easily take you around 45 minutes. And even if you cut out the Ravidas Ghat portion and start from Assi Ghat, still 40 minutes definitely. Now after this Ghat complex, there will be a series of other Ghats, and then we will be approaching towards the Panchaganga. Panchaganga Ghat is supposed to be the final Ghats as part of the old Ghat complex. It's the final destination. But then our target for today is the Namo Ghat. So from here, the series of ghats which begin is firstly the Ganga Mahal Ghat, followed by the majestic Bhosle Ghat in the front. Now, if you compare the quantum of devotees and the people who come to the Shashimeva Ghat, all of a sudden you will find here a sense of peace and quiet. There are hardly any people over here. So, if you want to have your peace portion, you can start from this ghat. Now, it's not that there are no, the priests are not here. They are there. Like there's one sitting over here. And as you reach closer to Panchaganga Ghat, you will find many priests over there. But then the thing is that traditionally the people don't come here. This is the only restaurant and cafe with a hotel which has got a riverfront property directly. So that's Guleria Kothi, and that's the access which they have. There's a Ganesh temple over here, which is why it is called Ganesh Ghat. The video recording is going on smoothly. There is no signs of overheating or even regular heating of the GoPro, though it is shooting in 4K. Now, if I want to go more better than that, then I should be going below 4K, 1080p. That is, I think, 2.7K if I'm not mistaken. But this is good enough. Now this ghat, Mehta Ghat, is also marked as MCC, which is Mehta Cricket Club. So they have made something called as cricket pitch over here. I'm really not sure. But yes, there are some markings. There is the number 4 written, which might be signaling for 4 runs. There you go here. So this looks some kind of boundary line. I don't know which ball they are going to play with, but anyway. So, or it might be just symbolic. Nobody would actually be playing here. So this is the next set of ghats. It starts from Ram Ghat. And yesterday I came to know that there is a Khandoba Mandir somewhere here in this complex, which I have to yet find out. Those minarets which you see in distance are the Alamgiri minarets. Alamgiri Masjid is actually Bindu Madhav Mandir. The masjid is built inside the temple, and just before that is these are the steps leading to Mangla Gauri Mandir. So all these names, Mangla Gauri, Gwalior Ghat, they are all synonymous with Marathas. And there is a temple, there is a 3 temple series in this ghat. So you start from this one. This is Radheshwar Mahadev Mandir. Then within the temple, within the fort walls, this palace walls, is the Pataleshwar Mandir. And then there is the Balaji temple, which is there on the 3rd floor. So 1, 2, 3 temples. And if you add the Mangla Gauri temple, that becomes the 4th temple. Now Panchaganga Ghat is a very ancient ghat. It is the Bindu Madhav Mandir, which was destroyed by Aurangzeb, is also here. And over here, there are a lot of religious activities going on. It starts with Kartik Mas, where these lanterns are hung up after lighting them. And then there is Dev Deepavali, which originated from this ghat. There is also some wrestling competition here. People come here for their prayers. And of course, the amazing Bindu Madhav temple. Now, this ghat complex also have people coming here and doing their morning exercise. Of course, we are not here in the morning now. So, we would be lucky to see someone. The steps which are leading to the Bindu Madhav temple are very steep over here. So maybe that's a form of an exercise for you to do after your Ganga Snan, so that the cold waters are repelled by your body heat. So here you will find a number of priests performing their religious rituals, and every priest has got a kind of cubicle in which he can keep his stuff. That's down below. So that's Panchaganga Ghat complex, again part of the Ghat Walk. These are the stairs which lead to the Bindu Madhav Mandir. And the next ghat is the Durga Ghat, followed by the one behind it, which is the Brahma Ghat. Now, these two ghats, again built by the Marathas, and there is a sizable Maratha community over here. They stay in a place called Nana Fadnavis Wada, which is now being renamed. And that's the end of the old Ghat complex. That's one religious ritual going on, Pindadan. The pathway which goes on top, you can climb on this feature, this wall, and get a good view of the river. So up till this point, on the Ghat Walk, normal pace, you can reach here in 1 hour's time. So as I mentioned, if you want to complete this Ghat Walk, it's going to it'll be best that you do it in winters, because summertime it's really hot and humid over here. But if season is not a problem, you can do it anytime. There is just this one thing you have to know, that after 10 o'clock, the Kashi Vishwanath corridor, the security guards start getting a little bit itchy, and they claim that beyond 10 o'clock no movement is allowed. So if you see a group of 4 or 5 security guards, then you can wait for some time after these group of security guards leave, and then there will be just a single security guard. You might ask him, request him, and he will oblige. So that's the problem. Otherwise, morning 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock onwards, 6 o'clock onwards, you can walk the complete stretch anytime. Most of the September and October, when the river floods, that's the time when Ghat Walk is out of question. You simply do not attempt it. 15th November is Dev Deepavali. So somewhere around that date, the government will put in a huge amount of effort to clear the Ghat Walk, like the place where I'm walking. That's a part of the Ghat Walk complex. So the government puts in a lot of effort to clear the Ghat Walk. So 15th November is your safe bet. Somewhere around 10th November or the first week of November, if you want to cut it short. But then from 15th November onwards, right up till June, July, comfortably, you can do this Ghat Walk. That's a combined tour. It's a group tour. This is the one which costs the least. It's approximately 100 rupees per passenger. These guided tours run between Namo Ghat and Assi Ghat. So if you want to have a guide and a group of people with all that chanting and all that energy, if you want to feel that energy, see, all this energy is all positive energy. It is good vibrations, and it has been known since ancient times that all good vibrations, see, today we talk about positive energy, Vastu and all that thing, but These are the ancient sciences of India for a long time back. So the group vibrations are going to benefit you. They give you the right amount of vibes to regenerate yourself. So we are coming to a very interesting place, that is the Gai Ghat. So this place has been coming up in the last few years as a good spot for Ganga Aarti and also the rituals. So the government is trying to push this as an alternate to the ancient ghats which we seen behind, and try to thin out the crowds from that place. So this place is picking up. It's done up quite well, and the evening Ganga Aarti should be spectacular. I want to come over here, but if you see now, morning time, you'll already see a lot of devotees here and offering their prayers and all. So this complex will come up in a big way in the future. This Hanuman Gadi Ghat is named after the Hanuman Gadi temple, which is in Ayodhya. There's a beautiful banyan tree over here. I could not understand what that lady was talking. A local Hindi dialect or from some other state. But as I said, I am on a clock and I need to keep walking. Again, a group of pilgrims. So that's an interesting thing that throughout the life people slog during their prime of the days, and then once their children have grown up and their responsibilities are complete, they now decide for a Tirth Yatra, and this Tirth Yatra place is Kashi. So it's a really interesting concept, and that also means that people, those who are coming here, they will be, most of the pilgrims will be senior citizens. So that's the thing as far as infrastructure what has come up. The Ghat Walk over here, especially this portion, is a series of steps, small steps going down, and then on the front ahead again climbing up. So up and down, a little bit of exercise over here for people. Now it's exactly 1 hour since we have left from Assi Ghat and Ravidas Ghat. So if you walk more faster, you might reach Namo Ghat within an hour. So I will attempt that once. Definitely you should come here. If you want to do that within that hour, you should come here before 8 o'clock. So morning 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock is the time when you can walk faster. At least you won't be obstructed by the crowd which is there at the various ghats. Early morning, this place is shrouded in fog, in mist, so that's the reason why most of the landmarks won't be visible. But if it is this time of the day, it will take around 1 more hour for the fog to lift up, and then this time will be good for photography. The winter sun moves as a trajectory from here to behind over there, which is why the ghats, they come into dark. The shadow falls on the ghats and the ghat steps after 4 o'clock. So that's why it's only early morning time which is good for photography. Direct sunlight falling on the camera might mess up with your lens. If your camera is good, then you're good to go, but otherwise there might be certain problems, like the GoPro, the colors get saturated. So that I was mentioning, the series of up and down steps. This entire ghat front is illuminated by these lights which are pointed inwards, and they are color changing lights. Just about yesterday, by the time I had reached this place, my GoPro and the battery grip both ran out of power, and it abruptly stopped in between. I'll give you a link to that video. But now in 4K and 24 FPS and the lower settings especially, it's 1 hour of continuous recording, and there is hardly any heating of the GoPro. So that means the best settings for extended video always going to remain 4K. But then if you're going for a higher bit rate, if you're going for 10-bit recording, if you're using medium or high sharpness, if you're going for vibrant colors, so all this processing which happens inside the GoPro is going to consume battery power, as well as it is going to increase the heat and temperatures. So that's the reason why if you want to record anything beyond 1 hour of a long walk, the best option is you go for the low settings, the low 4K settings, and that will not only result in a lesser file size, it will also be easy for processing. Say I use DaVinci Resolve, the free version. Now it's a very complicated software, but the problem is that once it starts processing, it slows down my PC. So if you're having an older system, because the software keeps getting updated every 2 to 3 months, so new and new features are being added. Now if you keep updating the software, but the hardware is still your older one, there will come a time when, because of the huge file size, you will you will not be able to process the videos. The other problem is huge file size means that you need to keep a few hard disks with you until unless you're going to do some professional work. I don't think 5.3K and all that higher bit rates is necessary. So let's see. This is the first time I'm going for the lower settings without 10-bit recording, without the higher bit rate, and I really want to see how the output looks and what happens in the final outcome when it is uploaded on YouTube. There is also this important point to be mentioned, that this is the first time I am going for a neutral color profile, because most of the color profiles which I have shot is the vibrant colors. So I hope I don't find a problem with the color settings when the video finally comes up. It's 1 hour 5 minutes. Now, as per Google estimates, the total time that will be taken for, now be careful of these kids who are flying the kites. They are using the synthetic kite thread. It's called manja. It is laced with, old days it used to be laced with glass pieces. Now there is something even more dangerous. And even the slightest touch to your sensitive parts like the neck and all, it straight away slits your throat or the side of the neck, which is even worse. Another group of pilgrims. So on the ghats, the kite flyers are there in large numbers during particular times of the season. If you see one from far away, just make your distance and be very, very careful. Keep a watchful eye on where the kite is going and which direction the wind is blowing. So this is the ghat front, the river front over here. Large number of pilgrims here also. That's because this ghat complex is a part of an old canal. There used to be a canal over here, and now it has been converted into a ghat. This place is also close to the main road. So many times if I had to stop my ghat walk, in fact there were 3 ghat walks where I have started from Assi Ghat and have terminated my ghat walk here. So here the main road is just about 5 minutes of walk. So, but today will be the first time when I would go all the way. The Ghat Walk was from that side, which I had avoided so that I should not go near to those kite flying kids. And over here, from the top I had seen last time, there was a construction facility over here. So people are making their boats. So it's going to be really interesting. Now, if you want to know my battery status, I have reached 50% of the handheld battery pack that is part of the GoPro media mod, whereas the levels of the GoPro are still 100%. So what happens is I keep the GoPro plugged in with the battery pack so that the GoPro battery is always at 100%. Now what happens is, first my handheld battery pack drains out, and then the GoPro is the turn of the GoPro battery. So here are the craftsmen working. This black substance which is burning could be the waterproof glue. The wood is burned to season it so that that portion of the plank which touches the water becomes absolutely waterproof. Maybe the black portion sticks to the burnt wood more better. Any reason? If I might get time, I might get a chance to interview these people. That's Prahlad Ghat. These are the sadhu. This is an example of one of the sadhu. He's quite old, and they largely don't have the concept of clothes. It's a incredible thing that they are still, they don't feel cold while we do. So that's Prahlad Ghat. Now this portion of the Ghat Walk begins from top. Now there are 3 people over here who are doing their kite flying. So I need to really stay away from them. That's again a Nishad Raj Ghat. So this could be the place of the boat community, the boatmen. A very ancient settlement. This particular house at night looks very beautiful in white. That's the Ghat front again, Rani Ghat. And then right in front of us is the Namo Ghat. But before that, we are going to cross another Ghat, the second last Ghat, which is called the Naya Ghat. So Naya Ghat is the place where there is a platform for functions. There is a large array of stairs, and it is a recently done up ghat. So sometimes government programs and functions happen over here. So the Google map estimates that you will take 1 hour 35 minutes to walk from Ravidas Ghat to Namo Ghat. It's a good idea that I have shifted to the 4K lower settings, because had it been little higher, I would have had to run out of battery, and that would have cut a sorry figure. So after Panchaganga Ghat, this area was not that what you are seeing it now, but it's the government who have put in efforts to create this space so that it thins out the crowds. Now that's the Ravidas temple, and where it is written Raj Ghat, that's the place. It will come up in the front where it is written Raj Ghat. There's a good viewpoint over there. So this is the platform which I was talking about. There's one platform here and one platform here. And the sitting arrangements which are made over here are the ones where people can sit on the floor. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a double-decker bridge over there. And the train track is on the lower section. Mahisasur Raj Ghat. So that's interesting. Mahisasur is a demon or a king. I need to look up the reference again. These are the floaters. So on the top where you see a jeep standing, and there are a couple of cars over there, that's a parking spot which is free, and it is yours if you are able to grab it. So when I came here late night on many occasions, I used to park over here. You can park it over here in the early morning also, but then by the time around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, the parking attendants come over here and they start asking you for money. Now this is the complex of the Namo Ghat. Now why I have taken this path is just to show you that from this ghat you can take this ramp and then you can climb up over here. So there are four levels. One level is right on the top of the road. This is the second level and this is the third level. Now there is also a fourth level. Now this fourth level is along the river bed. So you have to risk it because that place is a little dirty. But then if you want, you can walk along the river bed. And this place has been made into a complex kind of thing. So people come here in the evening. They sit here, enjoy the sunset. It's not exactly a sun view, but they enjoy the river view. And there's a place to sit over here. There are no vendors. And those people who are standing there, they are the security guards. So there is a heavy presence of security over here. And one thing I would like to mention that there are so as I mentioned, these people do not allow cameras over here. They are very, very strict. हाँ बताइए. अभी मैं बाहर जा रहा हूँ ना उधर से. हाँ ठीक है. So they were telling me that photography is not allowed, video recording is also not allowed, and I have to stop recording. So no problem. I have to reach Namo Ghat one way or the other. So what I'll do is I'll start climbing from top. So what happens is with the video recording, the people are kind of very sensitive over here. The families come over here, they sit here and they are a little bit, chary about cameras being used. Now, that's Namo Ghat in the front. We are supposed to reach here, but I'll show you an alternative route. That's the parking space. So here there is So this is the pay and parking slot. Yeah, that's the pay and parking slot. So the parking charges over here are pretty expensive. 50 rupees, 50 rupees per hour. And there's another security guard over there. I hope he allows me. So the security presence starts somewhere around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock their shift starts. That's the garden. And over there they start telling the tourists not to do video shooting. Okay, so let me try my luck over here. If I'm able to cross. Yes. The actual notice that video shooting is not allowed is put over there next to the Namo Ghat gates. So that's one gate over here. It is leading towards the CNG complex. No, sorry, the CNG complex comes over there in the front. So that's the pathway. There's one pathway going down and one pathway coming up. This is another pay and parking. Same standard charges, 50 rupees an hour. There's another parking over here. You can continue walking below and you can take your end towards Namo Ghat. So this is the CNG station over here. It has got a CNG outlet at the boat also and at the top also. So that's Namo Ghat. This is the cafe complex. So that's the place where I told you that they will not allow video shooting. Now there is an interesting portion, I want you to show it over here. This is some archaeological ruins. Yes, this is the one. It's a protected monument. There are some ruins over here. Now this is the main road. There are some parking slots over there ahead. And this road goes towards the bridge. So there is a lot of traffic noise. Let me see if the noise cancellation thing works. Now I have switched on the noise cancellation feature of the Holy Land. It promises to cut off the traffic noise. So this is the good option for me to check how much noise cancellation happens. So that's a railway station, and the name of the railway station is Kashi. So the region next to the Ghats is Kashi. That's Namo Ghat. But since we were not able to reach, I would like to show you Namo Ghat from a different angle. These are desi eggs. This guy must have come from some place on the outskirts. That's the shortcut which I wanted to show you. But before that, a view of Namo Ghat from the top. Now that's Namo Ghat, and as I mentioned, the pathway which is going along was that we took the pathway on the left. That's the pathway on the right. It goes along the riverfront, and then there is a staircase. You go down on the staircase, and then right up in Namo Ghat. So maybe the next Ghat walk which I'm going to do, which it will be early morning, somewhere around 6 o'clock, because today I got interrupted by the security. And then if you want to go back, because from here the road goes in the forward direction, but you want to go back, you can take the shortcut from here, which will take you to the main road which is going from down. Okay. So let us cross this road here. There would be at least 10-15 policemen on this road. Now, if you see these guys, these police people, they are all retired, and they are quite old. But it provides them with a source of employment. So as you can see, this is a spectacular shortcut. Otherwise, you have to come down from the road, go down over there, and then take a circuitous route from there. Now this shortcut is going to save at least half an hour of a drive. But then, unfortunately, it's only for pedestrians and cyclists. That's Kashi railway station, one of the most ancient railway stations. There has to be a history behind it. I'll go to visit. And this is the double-decker bridge. And that's the tower. There's some history written over there about this bridge and this tower. There's another interesting option. But then, see, the problem is that if you're starting your Ghat walk from Namo Ghat, you have to come back over here. That's the reality. So anyway, so now this is the shortcut which I was talking about. And this is the parking spot from where we started right from here. So there we are, back to the parking spot.